Hi, my name is Dr. Andrews. I'm an audiologist and senior user experience consultant with Cearvol. We are talking about all things hearing loss and hearing aids, and today's topic, cleaning your ears. Now, I'm going to start by saying earwax gets a bad rap. A lot of people seem to think that having earwax in your ears is some kind of indicator of poor hygiene. It's really not. Having earwax in your ears is perfectly normal and perfectly healthy. It's actually really good for your ears to have some kind of wax in there. You have very thin skin inside your ear canal and it dries out easily. Earwax is a natural moisturizer. It's actually a natural bug repellent too. So it's really a useful thing to have in your ears. And it's just as normal as having snot in your nose and saliva in your mouth. It's yucky, but it's part of it and we expect that. Now, is it possible to have too much earwax? Absolutely. Sometimes people have a lot of wax buildup that blocks the sound from reaching the eardrum. And if that happens, yes, we need to clean it out. But otherwise, there's not really much you need to do having wax in your ears. Now, before we talk about how to clean your ears, let's talk about some basic anatomy. So I've got my big ear here, and I'm just going to show you a couple of things just up to this part, nothing crazy. So this is your ear canal. So this is the front of your ear, that's the part we see, and then there's the ear canal coming here to this part, which is your eardrum. Now, the eardrum, we call it an eardrum. We also call it a tympanic membrane. So membrane meaning it's a very thin piece of skin at the end of your ear canal. That's all that's separating it from the middle ear. Now, this piece of skin, it is really thin, and that's so it can vibrate these little bones back here that vibrate and send the sound into your inner ear so you can hear. So it's very important, but it's also very delicate. So we have to be very careful when we're cleaning our ears. All right, so let's talk about what we're not going to do when we're cleaning our ears. So I'm going to put this down. I have here a cotton swab. This is probably the most common way that people choose to clean their ears. And it's really not a good idea. Even on the packaging, it should say, don't put this in your ear canal. And there's a couple of reasons why. The first reason I don't recommend cotton swabs is the length. So these have quite a bit of length to them. Your ear canal, only about that long. So it's very easy for the end of this to go through that tympanic membrane, your eardrum, that very thin piece of skin at the back of your ear canal, and cause damage. So a couple of real examples that have happened to people that I've talked to. One person was cleaning her ears and sneezed, and it went right through her eardrum. Another person was cleaning his ears in the bathroom. His elbow was near the door. His wife opened the door, bumped it, and it went right through his eardrum. It is very painful. It can cause a lot of damage and even hearing loss. So not safe at all. Now, another reason that I don't recommend using cotton swabs is the cotton. It comes off. So it gets stuck in that sticky wax and it comes off inside your ear canal. And eventually you get an earplug, basically built out of cotton and earwax, and it blocks your ear canal, not only blocking the sound, but opening you up to ear infections and other problems too. So that's another reason I don't recommend putting cotton swabs in your ears. All right, so the final reason I don't recommend using cotton swabs in your ear, and this is probably the most common thing that happens to people who use cotton swabs, is the way that it pushes the earwax in. So, got my cotton swab here. When you go in your ear canal, you might pull out a little bit, but for the most part, you tend to push it further in until you start creating this big glob of wax over here by your eardrum that you can't get out. And then, of course, the ear makes more wax, right? And then you go to get that out and you're putting that stick in your ear and it actually pushes it further in. And before you know it, you've got this big glob of wax. And a lot of times it gets rock hard because it's impacted, it's pushed in so tightly. You get this big glob of wax. It's really hard and really painful sometimes to get out of your ear. So that is a big reason I recommend not using cotton swabs. So how do we clean our ears safely? What's the right way to do it? Well, the good news is that ears are actually naturally self-cleaning. Earwax will naturally migrate from the back of the ear canal toward the opening of your ear. So if you just take a washcloth and go around the opening of your ear canal every day, that pretty much takes care of most of it. Now, if you have more buildup or you feel like you have water trapped in your ear, you can run it under a stream of water in the shower or use a bulb syringe to rinse it out gently. And that'll get it out if it's just a little bit of wax in your ear. Or if you have a lot of wax buildup or a lot of problems with outer ear infections or middle ear infections or any kind of middle ear issues like that, probably the safest and easiest way would be to go to the clinic and have your doctor clean it out for you. So as always, I hope this was helpful. If it was, stick around. We got more videos coming.